Lance McKeown. Lance is has 30 years experience in project management, MRP, and business analysis. Many years of experience working with QAD specifically. He done 2 implementations, QAD implementations in 3 facilities in Ohio and Michigan. A frequent speaker in conferences.
Production planner. How many people use MSW, PSW in your facilities? Okay, we use it in ours. The MSW, PSW screens are very, very good, and there's a lot of data on them. But sometimes navigating that and knowing where you want to go to and what you want to get out of the system can be very tedious and can be hard to find. And you have real estate that is on the screen, and you have to be able to size your windows so that you can get to the data that you want to get to. 32Soft has an MSW, PSW planner. Download, upload, and again, you have all of your selection criteria that you can do, and if you need additional selection criteria, 32Soft can add that to the loader. But then you have all of the different buttons that are across the top. You do an MRP summary, you will look at the routing, the bill of materials for a part number, capacity report, MRP details, work order shortages, component shortages. Run a selective MRP right out of the 32Soft loader, so you have some of your more important screens and some of your more useful functionality that's all designed into a single download or a single upload, so you can change any of this data. If you want to change due dates or release dates on something like that, change quantities, you can change those and upload those into your system, all from one 32Soft loader. And again, your selection criteria: order status, product line, item type, work center. So you want to update a particular work center, you want to update a particular production line. You can do everything. You can download all of the work orders or all of the data for a particular production line, and you can update everything at one time. Saves you from going in and doing things manually within the system, so it's a very functional loader. We do use this loader, and we have it, we're beginning to implement MSW, PSW at more of our facilities, and one of the things that we're actually looking forward to is moving to EE and doing all of our scheduling within MSW, PSW on that. Because I think it's a very functional product. I think it's developing very nicely through QAD. PO create. So here, downloaded PO number, supplier number. I can change the supplier number on that, sites, item numbers. I can change quantities and due dates and have those upload into the system automatically, okay? So I can do all of my part numbers for a particular purchase order for a particular supplier, especially during new launch. We use discrete purchase orders during our new launch process, before we go into mass production, because typically when we buy a launch part, we're not buying it at production pricing. So we want to be able to do that. We're definitely not buying production quantities. We may buy 10 and then the customer will say, no, I want 100. And we may buy 100 and the customer changes his mind and says, well, we're only going to do 50 on that particular lot that we're going to do. So during your lot, you have different quantities and different products that are due. This gives us the functionality to be able to make some changes and control those purchase orders. And again, gives us traceability in our system as to who made the change, when they made the change, and what the old data was, because we write everything out to the network so that we have a record of that. And then nobody can say, well, I didn't make that change, or I didn't communicate that to the supplier, I didn't do something with this, I didn't do that, because the record is there, and we know who did what in our system. Tremendous functionality. PO modify, same type of a thing that you can do. New quantity ordered, new due date, okay? Two of the hardest things to change in a discrete purchase order within QAD. We can change anytime we want, okay? With a single upload. Works very well. Conclusion, real partner, yeah, except don't ask them to pay your taxes, but anything else you want to do within QAD, anything else within the functionality of QAD that you'd like to have done with a 32 slot floater, they can do it. This is only a few of the loaders that we actually own and that we use on a regular basis. I can think of very few loaders that they have that we don't own because somebody sees them and they say, oh, that would be useful, and we just get them, okay? So we have almost their entire catalog of 32 soft loaders across our corporation. We've also added one other. They use Java services to do some of their transactions or to do some of their processing. At some sites where they don't trust people like me, we actually have a menu item in QAD that turns on and off Java services. So we don't want that to do, we don't want anybody to be using it. A manager has the ability to go in and turn off Java services or close a port. You can also do it by, because this is an IP and a port it's coming in through, you can close the port and not allow anybody to use a 32 soft loader unless it's been reviewed by a manager. So, but basically I've asked for a copy of all correspondence that our users are going to do when they're asking for a modification or a new 32 soft loader. I'm on distribution for it and I appreciate that. So they do have dedicated support and they're very reliable and they're very responsive to a user's request. Measurable success, measure the time that it takes to update item site planning for 200 part numbers versus the time it takes to download them from item master, make a few changes to it, do the upload and something like that. It's a very efficient system to be able to use.